we're going to tell you all about all sorts of behind the scenes stuff that we see. Maybe some of the horror stories, maybe some of the success stories. So stay tuned. I've been on a long road. Okay, everyone, got my coffee. I'm good to go. So I'm going to be meeting up with Larry Hebert. He is basically a cash flow operations guru here in the Santa Cruz region, and we work together quite a lot. And so I'm going to plop down this camera, and you're going to get a sneak peek into the kind of behind the scenes of what we deal with on a daily basis. So everyone, I want to introduce Larry Hebert. Hi, Larry.
Hi, Bryce. How are you?
So basically, we're lucky to be sitting here with him. Larry, what do you do in a 10-second nutshell elevator pitch? What do you do?
I help people increase their profits and most of all retain their cash to run their business and their operations so they can be successful.
So today, this is the pilot. This is the first episode of Cash and Coffee, and we're going to talk detail and really talk shop, and you get to sit in on all this. What's like one of the worst scenarios that was easily fixable?
There are a number of things involved in it. Yeah. So let's use a retail store example. I had a retail store 5 years ago I was dealing with that numbers continued to fall, but they kept buying the same product. And so when I went, one of the first things I did when I went in, I looked at their financials. Their margins were down, which means that they were making less money on their products. So they continually had to put things on sale, and they had a lot of unrelated products. They had clothing, they had some candles, they had some trees, they had some pots, they had things that were related.
Yeah.
And so what I had them do initially was, as a consultant to retail, it's important to know to align your percentage of sales in a category to your percentage of inventory. By that I mean if your sales, say 40% women's clothing generates 40% of your sales, and your inventory is only 20%, that means you're turning it too fast and you're missing sales.
Yeah.
Conversely, if you have 20% of your inventory in a category and you're only selling 5%, then that's going like this, and so you will have a lot of money tied up in it's not selling, and then when you're running out of the products that sell, you can't replace them fast enough because you don't have enough money. Mm-hmm. So what I try to do is I align the percentage of inventory in a category with the percentage of sales.
Makes a lot of sense.
So that's what I did for this particular retailer. So what happened was that they had about 22 product categories. 9 of those categories were generating 90% of their sales.
Oof.
So they had 10% of their sales, but they had their inventory was way over inventory and stuff that wasn't selling. Mm-hmm. And so what we did was we took the 9 categories. Those are the ones we were going to focus on. We got rid of the other, 13. They had 22.
Uh-huh.
We put that at cost to get their money out of it.
Yeah.
And they generated an additional $60,000 in sales. They didn't make a profit on it, but they got the money out of it.
Yeah.
And they're able
otherwise, it's just sitting there on the shelf getting dusty, and no one's going to buy it.
And then we invested the money, and we created what's called an open to buy, which manages your. We'll talk about this at a later date, but it manages your inventory purchases so it's in line with what your forecasts are.
Yeah.
And so what we did was we lined up the percentage of sales to the percentage of inventory. Their sales went from $500,000 to 1.3 over 3 years period of time. Their margins went up from about 38% to 55%.
Wow.
Because
That's
they
incredible.
and they became profitable. They started paying down their debt, and the business was transformed over a 3-year period.
Nice.
And it's still in operation today.